Hi guys, welcome to part 5 of the PropFirm Academy free smart money course. In this video, I'll be talking about using Trendline, more or less what we call Trendline Phantom. So on my screen here, typically is the Euro USD chart, and as we can see, this is a trend line drawn from February early this year, February 22. Up to current November 15, and you can see how market has been trending downwards. So typically most traders like to use trend line as a way to measure a particular trend and follow the trend. Personally, I do not like to subscribe to that, reason being that trend lines are more or less subjective. How do you exactly draw the trend line to match? Many of the time also you could have a price breakout of the trend line, give a false breakout, break back in, and all that being said, I prefer to use trend line as a reversal tool, which means if I'm expecting price to likely reverse, I would like to use the trend line as an additional confirmation. So in this scenario, we can see the Euro USD chart last week, rather this month, more or less broke out of the trend line rather massively. So at this point, we can likely assume that Euro USD would likely be bullish. But on a closer look, let's move to lower time frames. You can even use this for intraday trading, for scalping and the likes. So let's look way back. So for instance, if I was looking for a buy in this scenario, this is a trend line, and then at the point where price broke out from this trend line, I can assume that structure has also been taken, in which case this is structure. So trend line can serve as an extra confirmation for when you're looking for a reversal. So after this has been taken, I then start looking to trade at every other block retest. So that is basically one easy way to use the trend line tool. Likewise, in this case, if I draw my trend line and then price breaks it, I know that likelihood is that there is a reversal. In this scenario, likewise, it's more or less the same thing. I draw my trend line and then price broke it. So in this case, price broke the trend line, and we can clearly see our price broke the trend line with this massive engulfing candle with an imbalance, and then at that point we're looking to re-enter the markets. Likewise, this is a downtrend. Price broke it. Likewise, we assume trend has changed. Likewise, in this uptrend, after price takes out the trend line, we assume trend has changed. And even down into the 1 hour time frame, it literally works the same way. So I rather prefer to use the trend line tool as a reversal confirmation. So for instance, in this scenario, you draw your trend line. So in this case now, you can see how price broke out of the trend line and retested, but eventually it could have more or less hit your stop loss. But then again, nothing is 100% in Forex trading, but basically that is the concept of using trend lines in confirming the trend. Likewise, in this scenario, so this was a rather good scenario where the trend line was broken, not necessarily retested. I don't necessarily look out for the retest of the trend line. I would rather, after the trend line has been broken, to suggest that there's a break in structure. Then I start looking out for what other blocks markets would likely retest for me to then get into the trade. And it literally works like that on almost literally every time frame out there possible. So if we keep scrolling back at every consolidation, you see how the trend line tool could have helped in picking and predicting reversals. So in this case, there was also a break of structure, market came back, retested, other block moved. Same thing right here, trend line broke, market sold. Same thing right here, trend line broke. After the break of the trend line, markets came back to retest other block and then dropped. Same thing right here. Broke, retested the other block, and then rose. So Trendline Phantom is an additional way for you to more or less predict a likely market reversal. So I prefer to use Trendline for reversals rather than following the trend. And one major reason of that is at what point I don't believe a line on my chart will determine where price will likely react from or something. For instance, in this case, we can see how price broke through the trend line, gave a false breakout, and then moved. So instead of me using the trend line to continue with the trend, I would rather use the trend line as a reversal tool. So after market has broken the trend line, broken structure, then I look at how to use other blocks as likely entry zone. So this is basically what encompasses the trend line Phantom. So go ahead and practice this. Let me know how it works for you. Go ahead, make sure if you have any input, any questions, you can go ahead and put it in the comment section. And if you're interested in the full course, in the Prop Firm Academy, you get the course, the mentorship, you get free trade signals and free trade ideas every month. So go ahead, www.thepropfirm Academy, pick a package, and welcome on board. And also make sure to subscribe to my Telegram channel and join me on the Path to Profits podcast every Monday GMT +1 7 p.m. and likewise do subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, share this video. This is part 5. In part 6 we're going to be talking about a more an easier way for you to then determine when there will likely be a stop hunt in the market, talking about the concept of liquidity. See you in part 6.